Okay, good morning. Today is the day that we change both the continuous glucose monitor that I wear from Medtronics that reads my sugar levels every 5 minutes, I think it is, and sends it over to my insulin pump so that it can adjust for the sugar levels. Today we also changed the insert for the delivery of the insulin to the body. That's the biggest question I get as a diabetic. What's that thing on your waist? And oh my gosh, where does that connect? How do you do that? So today we're going to show you. We're going to show you how all of that gets put into the body and how it works. Once again, I have to make this disclosure. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. If something goes wrong, you get to see. If it goes ideal, like I hope it does, you get to see that as well. Okay? So let's go do it. Alrighty. We're here. We're changing insulin stuff. Sorry, you're going to see more of my midsection than you are of my head today as we do this. Right now we're telling the insulin pump to rewind where the insulin goes into the insulin pump. We've got the insulin, the tube that most people see that's attached to my body, the little bit that goes out of my clothing to my insulin pump on the waist. Got the continuous monitor ready to here. I've got the insert here for the insulin. So I've got it set for setting the insulin first, so we're going to do that. So this is what people have the biggest question about is, how does that go in the body? Is it like a catheter? Is there a needle in your body all the time? And let's just do this. So there's a needle on the end of this insert. It's a catheter, and so we're going to put it in and then the needle will come out. This will go in one part of my body, and I'm going to put it on this part of my stomach, or whatever part of the body you call this. And then on the other side, we'll go ahead and put in the continuous glucose monitor. So I take that needle, take a chunk of the skin, flare it out a little bit, stand as straight as I can while I do this. And sometimes you try not to drop it, thank goodness. And you're trying to get this in to the fat or a fatty surface on the body. I'm trying to find an area that I'm not going to draw blood. If I draw blood with this, you have to take it out and you have to place it someplace else. Okay, so that's in. I don't put it straight down and in. This insert goes in at an angle. And then I pull that needle out. Okay, needle's out. It will get disposed of in a few minutes. Finish taping it down so it's secure. The insulin insert and tube and reservoir, they call it, gets changed in the body every 3 to 4 days is what that's supposed to be changed, to prevent infection, to prevent buildup on the scar tissue on the inside of the body. So now we'll go ahead and go through the process. It now fills the tubing, and I'm going to look for there to be a drop or two to come out the end, and that lets me know that all of the air should be out of the line and we are just to the insulin portion. Typically it takes about 12 to 15 units. I just got some drops out of there. Let's see if we can show you. No, I'm not going to show you. And so now I can go ahead and take the cap off of that, and that just clicks right there. It's in. I'm just going to follow the steps on the screen here, tell it to fill that little portion that the needle was in so there's no more air bubbles there, and then that will be ready. So it doesn't take too long to do that. The continuous glucose monitor, the continuous sugar meter that I put in my body, has a device. I pushed it in there earlier, and similar to the insert I just put in, it's got a needle in it, and it will go in with the needle, and then we'll take the needle out. And we're going to find some place, and you can probably tell on my body there's a red spot there. It's got some dots on it. That's where it typically goes in this area. And I switch from side to side with this on a weekly basis. This device gets changed once a week. This point I'm to every Friday that this gets changed. I put it on there. Have to push both of my green buttons. I look for a spot on my body where I can feel where I'm going to not draw blood. After you do this for a while, you get to feel what feels like a good location or not. And push the buttons and jump a little bit, and we're there. If this one draws a little bit of blood, that's okay. If it spews out the top, you take it out and get a new one and do it. So I've just pulled. The needle comes out and retracts itself into this. And then I start with my taping process. I gotta tape this down because this is gonna be on, like I said, for a week. So I wanna make sure that I don't have any issues and it doesn't come out. This piece, the large piece, goes over the top and attaches to the body. So for years and years I did shots. I got to the point where I did 10 shots a day, and for me it's easier to do this, and I can manage my diabetes better with the insulin pump than I could ever begin to manage it with 10 to 12 shots a day. This is the actual computerized section of that continuous glucose monitor. We're going to plug that in. Takes about 3 to 5 seconds. And I get a little green light there, maybe. Yep, green light. Says that it's connected. Everything's reading like it should. We'll put this piece of tape over the green light. I don't want to flash people later on. And then we tape that back section as well so I don't end up snagging that on my clothes or something. Folded that piece of tape over so we'll get a new one. Okay, so there we go. We got a new continuous glucose monitor on for the week. For the next 3 to 4 to 5 days, I've got a new insert for the insulin to be delivered